My name is Charles Torres, and you're watching MCSTV, where we dare to be extraordinary. M.E.T.S Charter School is in its second successful year, and as our school grows, so do the departments. And during this episode of MCSTV, the M.E.T.S Charter School News team will give you a chance to get to know the newly promoted department heads, Mr Fallquist, Ms. Hitchcock, Mr Urbankowski, Mr Malpass, Mr Seco, and last but not least, Mrs Tarsitano. So let's toss it to our enigmatic reporter, Peter Ibrahim in M.E.T Studio B, with an exclusive interview with the man in charge of curriculum, assessment, and instruction. Peter, take it away.
Thanks, Charles. I'm Peter at the M.E.T.S TV studio, and joining me now is Mr. Fallquist, Director of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment, and Coordinator of the Mathematics, Science, Computer Science, Physical Education, and Health Departments. Pleasure to have you with us today.
Thanks, Peter.
First of all, congratulations on your new position. So, what does your job entail?
Well, basically, when you get down to curriculum, instruction, and assessment, it comes down to learning. And if you think about what goes on in a public or any school, really, learning is what students are here for. That's what we're all here for. So, really, I'm in charge of the learning at the school. So basically, anything that involves touching students, teachers, the learning process, anything like that, kind of falls under my responsibility.
And being head of so many departments, do you find it challenging sometimes to manage all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of times your day is less about what all your responsibilities entail, and more focusing on just the things that need your attention that day, and basically taking care of things that need your attention, and knowing that the things that don't need your attention are working properly. And
this year we have many new faces in our science department. What are your impressions on how far our science department has come from last year?
Well, I think right off the bat we've started to do labs, and we're in the middle of installing a chemistry lab. We added chemistry this year. That was a big improvement. We went to a new science curriculum, so I think we have a lot of exciting things going on. Right now we have trout in the classroom in the environmental science room. So there's a lot of exciting things going on at the school.
And what are your goals as important as you are at the school, and with your many roles? What are your goals for our school?
Well, I think we know it's an excellent school. I think we just want to continue to build on that excellence. Right now we're working on taking the students to the next level. We added chemistry this year. We're going to be continuing our curriculum in chemistry. And we're working to get the students to pre-calculus over the summer so we can start calculus next year.
And last year you had a very essential role as a biology teacher. Do you ever miss teaching? Do you ever wish you could just go back to the classroom again?
Yeah, I think you always miss the classroom, and that's one of the nice things about getting in and helping out with activities, or working in the classroom with teachers and students, or even participating in after-school activities like robotics or something like that. So yeah, you absolutely miss the classroom, and I think one of the great things about the job is the fact that I get to spend a lot of time in classrooms all day long, and sometimes that makes you miss it more, but at the same time it's rewarding seeing the learning going on in the school.
Well, thanks for being with us here today.
Absolutely, thank you.
Peter, back to you, Charles.
Thanks, Peter. Now let's turn our attention to Zarfshan Shahid, who's standing by in M.E.T Studio B with the head of the Language Arts Department to find out how our teachers plan to prepare students for the upcoming standardized testing. Here's Zarshan.
Thank you, Charles. Hi, I'm Zarshan, and I'm here with Ms. Erin Hitchcock, teacher and head coordinator of English and World Languages. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
Okay, I would like to ask you some questions. How do you plan on to prepare students in the upcoming standardized testing?
All English and math teachers are incorporating NJ-Ask and HESPA strategies. We have after-school tutoring, we have tutoring by appointments, and we will begin Saturday tutoring for those students who need it beginning first weekend in December.
Okay, that's good. So can you tell me a little bit about your role as an English department coordinator?
Yes, I work with both teachers and administration, a full range areas of curriculum, assessment, and instructional activities.
Okay. So how do you handle both positions of being a teacher and a coordinator at the same time?
I've become amazing with my time management.
When did you start teaching, and what inspired you to teach?
That's a good question. I began teaching 2 years ago. 2 years ago at M.E.T.S. I worked at a private school before that for a year. I just had a really amazing English teacher in high school, and she inspired me to want to do this.
Did you like English when you were younger?
Yes, loved English, hated math.
Okay. What advice do you have for the kids who aspire to follow in your footsteps?
Just never give up. You know, life's tough. Things get in your way. It's important not to give up. And if it's what you really believe in and what you want to do, you just keep going.
Okay, that's all. Thank you for your time and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Back to you, Charles, in the studio.
Thanks, Zarshan. From history to the performing arts, we look towards Kyle Rojas, who has an exclusive interview with the head of the Fine Arts Department. Kyle?
Thanks, Charles. I'm Kyle Rojas here at MCS Studio, joined by our new head director for the Social Studies and Fine Arts Department. Hi, Mr. Rinkowski.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi. Congratulations for the promotion in being the new head director of Social Studies and Fine Arts Department. How did that come about?
I think it was a decision by Dr. Seco, by Dr. Goodwin, everyone who was in the administration last year, who just saw that there was a need to have some kind of communication between the administration in the front office and the teachers. So it was really just a matter of communicating better.
How do you feel about that offer?
Oh, I'm very excited about it. I think it's been going very well this year.
What are the things that you have achieved so far?
So far, we've been communicating very closely with the English department in raising writing scores and in working toward raising our students' writing capabilities. And we've also been working on a number of projects and field trips this year that I think so far have gone really well.
Being the head director of the Social Studies and Fine Arts Department, what are your duties?
My duties are to coordinate curriculum. So I coordinate Social Studies and Fine Arts curriculum. I collect lesson plans from teachers and monitor lesson plans. I make sure that teachers are following the curriculum, and I also cooperate with other departments to make sure that we are in line with writing standards, in addition to working on field trips and working on a number of the different projects that I mentioned before.
Do you miss teaching more classes this year?
I do. I really hope that in the next few years they don't take away more classes away from me, because that would be my biggest nightmare. I love being in front of the class.
Oh, as a history teacher, what is your philosophy for our students at M.E.T.S Charter School?
My philosophy is for students to not only challenge the things that they've been taught in previous years, but to also teach themselves and learn from mistakes. I don't think that there's anything that is sort of a final failure. I don't believe in that. I think that there's always something that you could rebound from, and I think that every mistake is a learning experience.
What is the advice that you could give to our students at M.E.T Charter School to achieve the goal that they want to achieve?
I think that the advice that I would give to most M.E.T students is at the front of my classroom: work hard, be nice, think. I think that that's what M.E.T students really need to focus on, and if it's really that simple. It doesn't have to be anything too complicated. It could really be a message as simple as that, and that will lead everybody to success.
And my last question so far, what is the biggest obstacle that you have overcome? The
biggest obstacle that I've overcome? Laziness.
Well, thank you for joining us today, Mr. Brinkhouse. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle.
I'm Kairos, and that was our interview. Thanks. Back to you, Charles.
Thanks, Kyle. From the heads of the departments to the dean of the students, here's MCSTV reporter Michael Sweeney standing by with the dean of students for the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. Here's Michael.
Thanks, Charles. I'm Michael Sweeney, and I'm here with the dean of the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, Mr. M.E.T.S. How are you?
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm fine. Congratulations on your new role as dean.
Thank you.
Now, how do you feel about your new role?
Well, I love it. I'm the dean for the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. It's a great opportunity for Mr. M.E.T.S here working at M.E.T.S Charter School. As you know, I was the art teacher last year. In my classroom last year, I had good discipline. I was able to get the students there on time. As you know, you were all well behaved in my class, right, Michael?
Yeah.
And this year, at the end of last year, Dr. Seco had approached me to be the dean of students for this coming year, 2012. Mm-hmm. And I jumped at the opportunity, and I've enjoyed every second up to this point.
Yeah. What is your main goal to accomplish as your new role as the dean of students?
Well, my goal this year, we're going to be focusing on uniform, we're going to be focusing on lateness, and we're going to be focusing on, of course, discipline. Last year, the uniform and lateness became an issue. This year, as the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade dean, you'll see me in the morning in front of the school, making sure that each student is in uniform. Myself and Mr. Seco are down there. Also for lateness, we've implemented a late log book for the classrooms that the students, if they are late, they need to sign in the time that they are late. And at the end of the day, what I do is I call home and I let the parents know that the students were late to class. With the lateness, first offense is a warning just to call home, indicating that the student was late. Second offense results in a after-school detention from 3:15 to 4 p.m. And a third offense will result in a Saturday detention. It's a little harsh, but it's been working out this year.
Now you touched on the uniform. Some students in the school, they're confused about what to wear. Like, can I wear the polo? What kind of pants do I have to wear? What are the shoes? And you're heavy on enforcing this uniform code. Why is it so important for the students to follow this uniform policy?
Well, it becomes, in my opinion, it becomes a distraction if each of the students are out of uniform, wearing different things. Who's wearing what? This is this. This is that. As far as the uniform goes, it's either a white polo or a blue polo with the M.E.T.S insignia on the here. As far as pants go, you can wear khaki, navy blue, or black. No jeans allowed. And it's been going well. I mean, I realize it's getting cold. Students often wear their sweatshirts. We just asked that it be unzipped so we're able to see the M.E.T.S Charter School logo. You can also wear your M.E.T.S Charter School sweatshirt. We ask that you don't have your hoods on. And you'll see me taking hats during the day as well.
We all know, my last question is, we all know that you were the former art teacher last year. Do you miss teaching those art classes?
Of course, of course. I had a wonderful time last year teaching art at M.E.T.S Charter School. It was a pleasure to be here. It was a pleasure to have you as one of my students and everyone as my student. But I feel very fortunate to be the dean this year because I'm able to reach out to more students. I have, like I said, the entire 6th grade, entire 7th grade, entire 8th grade class. And I'm still bothering you in the hallway, I'm sure, too. But so I still see the 9th and 10th graders as well. And I'm mobile. I'm around school. I'm able to speak to all the students. So last year I was in my classroom. Like I said, I had wonderful classes. I truly enjoyed it. But as the dean, I'm able, I think, to reach out to more of the students here at M.E.T.S Charter School.
And in the art classes, you had some sort of creativity mindset that kind of flowed around and kind of, made the class more fun. How do you plan on bringing that sort of creativity we had and implementing it with your role as the dean?
Well, I'm often helping out Miss Baldino and you guys with this particular project you guys are working on. My artistic abilities, I'd love to help the students out in any way that I can. Students still come up and ask me questions. I have sat in with Mr. Simmons, the new art teacher from M.E.T.S Charter School. He has wonderful projects going on, and we bounce ideas off one another all the time.
Thank you. We're all looking forward to what you're going to do with the school, and thank you for your interview.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
I'm Michael Sweeney. Charles, back to you.
Thanks, Michael. After middle school comes high school. Next, we have Kayla Rosario interviewing Dean of Students for the 9th and 10th graders. Kayla, your go.
Thank you, Charles. I'm Kayla, and today I'm joined by Mr. Dan Seco, the Dean of 9th and 10th grade. So how are you doing today?
How are you doing, Kelly? Thank you.
What is your role here at M.E.T.S?
I'm the Dean of Students for 9th and 10th grade. I'm the Director of Security and Facilities here at M.E.T.S Charter School.
Why have you chosen to work here as opposed to working for another school or company?
Because after the military, I like working with children, and I heard about M.E.T.S Charter School, and I figured Jersey City was the place to be.
So can you explain your roles as a Dean of Students and how it affects you?
Sure. I work with the 9th and 10th graders, and I make sure that they don't get in trouble. Then if they do get in trouble, we figure out the best way to form of discipline. And, I like doing my job.
Lastly, do you enjoy most about being the Director of Security and Faculty / Dean of Students?
Well, Director of Security is great. Dean of Students is also good because I work with my partner, Mr. M.E.T.S, who's the Dean of Students for 6th and 7th grade, and him and I make a wonderful team here at M.E.T.S Charter School.
Okay. And so you're good with being the dean. How do you keep the school immaculate?
Oh, it's a lot of time, a lot of man hours involved with that. I'm here Monday through Saturday, 12 to 14-hour days, usually go in with that.
Okay. Thank you for your dedication. I'm Kayla Rosario, and back to Charles in the studio.
Thanks, Kayla. And last but not least, we have Anjali Serrano standing by with our guidance counselor. Angie, take it away.
Thanks, Charles. Hi, my name is Angeli Serrano, and right here right now, I'm with Ms. Tarsitano, our M.E.T.S Charter School Guidance Counselor.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, just one thing. Congratulations on coming into our M.E.T.S Charter School family.
Thank you.
I understand you're our first guidance counselor.
Yeah.
So, with that, like, when you found out you were hired, like, what was your reaction to it?
I was excited. I thought that it seemed like a great place to work. I used to be a math teacher, so the fact that the school focused on math I thought was really exciting. I love that it's such a big age span, the 6th grade through the 10th grade and eventually to the 12th grade. So I thought it was going to be a fun and a really good opportunity.
Like, as a guidance counselor, I understand at this school, we're a middle school and a high school. What difficulties are you facing right now, like with this, all middle school and high school students?
Well, I think it's just that there's so many of you, and I'm not so great with names. So if you're just patient with me to learn your name, then I think that'll be okay. But that's probably the hardest part, is just learning everybody.
And as I'm one of your students that actually go to you for any problems or anything, what are your policies for coming into your office or anything?
Well, if you can, it's best to come either before school, after school, or during your lunch, because we don't want you to miss any class. But if it's an emergency, obviously the door is always open. And just to make it, again, if you can't come during your free time, then to make an appointment so that I can make sure that I'm there and I can see you.
Any accomplishments you're planning to have, or do anything before school ends, or for the next couple of years?
Well, I think what's really important is, for the middle school students, it's mostly just that I'm here, that you know that you can come and talk to me, and that you learn to trust me, and that I'm here for you. For the high school students, it's also that, but it's preparing for college. So I think a lot of high school students don't realize that even in 9th grade, everything you do counts for your college transcript. So it's getting that, kind of in their heads that they need to be working hard and to their best ability, and be volunteering and just doing their best and getting ready for college starting in 9th grade.
Well, aside from, high school,
yeah.
There's high school students here, 9th, 10th grade, and, we want to go to a college of our choices.
Right.
Any advice for the students? For obviously 10th graders, 2 more years in high school,
yeah.
What do you want to say to them?
I would say, first of all, just as I said, do your best. Volunteer, try to take as many honors classes as you can if you're capable of it, and also to keep your options open. The school that I thought I'd go to my whole life, I didn't end up, and I had a great college experience. So to just look around and do some research, see what you would like in a school, what you wouldn't like in a school, and just do your best.
Well, thank you for your time, Star.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for the interview.
Yep.
And I'm Angeli, and back to you, Charles.
Thanks for watching this edition of MCS TV, where we dare to be extraordinary. I'm Charles Torres, and we'll see you next time.